tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to another installment of Why the fuck does anybody give a shit about this case anymore? Oh, I'm starting to get to the point where I just don't care about it anymore. And the sad part is this is a really important case in the sense of in the sense of getting courts to take online issues and YouTube creators and online businesses and all of that, and cyber harassment and cyber stalking and all of that bullshit seriously. And I'm just getting to the point where, if y'all were here yesterday, after 40 days of a stay, people still couldn't keep talking about the same bullshit over and over and over again. Hey Jeffrey, no advance notice is because I got home from Walmart. I literally have been busting my butt all day doing stuff. I got home from Walmart, unpacked the groceries, set up the stream, and clicked the live button. That would be about the extent of the notification y'all got for this stream. I said between 1 and 1:30, so I was pretty accurate. Yeah. It's pretty, yeah, but I'm starting to get to the point where, like, I know this has implications on YouTube streamers and stuff like that, and, like, I just don't even give a fuck anymore. Because at the end of the day, I'm starting to realize why the judicial system and the cops and all of that don't take YouTube issues and all of that seriously, is because for every serious issue that creators have, you get shit like this. But if y'all want to hear a funny story, I went to the gym this morning. My mom was babysitting. We did some errands. We ran some errands. My mom's hanging out with us. And the little was such a good girl. I'm like, let's go to Walmart and get a toy and, and an ice cream bar and stuff like that. We're getting some apples because the little said she wanted apples, and I'm never going to deny when the little says she wants fruit, because, never going to deny the little when she wants something healthy to eat. And who pops her head up from the next aisle over where, like, raspberries and other fruit are? My mother-in-law. We have not spoken to my mother-in-law in 16 months. Awkward. It's the most awkward experience that I've had at a store in a long time. Yeah. What's up, Hey Joe? Yeah, I'm still waiting for that verdict too, and for some reason I don't think they'll get it today. I'm still, yeah. I agree that judges have dang tired of dealing with shit like this, but then they should start making the shit consequences to have to keep them in line. I agree, but it kind of goes back to what people have been mentioning is the fact that judges and a lot of people in the judicial system as a whole, because of ethical considerations, don't use or have social media. So when people who don't have social media get bombarded with the bullshit side of social media, they tend not to take things seriously. I just, it's just, yeah. But it's like, I'm just starting to, I'm just so, I don't know about y'all, but like, it's when, and you want to know the best way not to get sued? Don't talk shit about people on the internet. Like, I don't agree with people, and I don't like people. I don't like certain people. But the only people who I've name called are people who have literally talked shit about me first. Bubbles and the flea bags, because they chose to talk about my daughter. Other than that, I keep the shit that the people I don't like. I don't sit on a stream for hours on end and make fun of them. Whether I like them or not, and whether I think they're good people or not, the best way to not start shit and be caught up in drama is to just not talk about stupid people. Just stop talking about shit. Like, and the best way to not get, like, I understand it's funny, but did I talk to her or just walk away? I just walked away. Because I still sound like an emphysema Muppet, and I have blonde hair, and she's never known me with blonde hair. I honestly don't think she actually, are you still hungry? Girl, you have half an apple there. Go get a snack out of your drawer. She comes to me with her apple, like, chewed to bits, but none of this. Girl, I'm gonna end up eating the rest of that. Wait, Jeffrey, what are we talking about? Like, my mother-in-law, I just walked away. But because I sound like an emphysema Muppet, and she hasn't seen me in a year and a half, not like I look that different, and she hasn't seen her granddaughter in a year and a half, and toddlers change. I don't think she actually recognized us, or if she did, she didn't say anything. But true sign of a narcissist is you never admit that you did anything wrong. So she'll never, the easiest way to fix this is just to admit that you did something wrong, and things would be a lot different, and we wouldn't be having to avoid you in a store, because we would walk up to you and go, "Hey, Tammy, would you like to pick up your granddaughter tomorrow?" And not, "Oh my God, fucking Tammy, let's bolt our ass the other direction." And my mom was with me too, so that was the funniest fucking part. But yes, I understand. But at a certain point, I think the expert said it. The expert said it and put it a very good way. When you talk shit about somebody in person, they punch you in the face. When you talk shit about someone on the internet, they sue you. Whether it's appropriate or not, it happens. So how about you just don't talk shit about people on the internet, and there's a good chance you won't get sued. Getting punched in the face, don't advocate for violence, but you talk shit about somebody in front of them, and chances are somebody's going to punch you in the face. You talk shit about somebody on the internet, chances are whether it's appropriate or not. I'm just saying, the expert said it in those terms, and he brought up a very good point. I don't advocate for violence at all, and I don't recommend punching anybody in the face. However, that's generally actions have consequences. So I don't think that people suing over stupid shit is appropriate. But this is 2025 in the US, and people sue over fucking spilling coffee. People sue over the fact that their dog peed, or somebody's dog peed in their yard, and there was a no trespassing sign. So like, let's put aside the whole what should happen and what should make sense and what does happen. So let's put aside all like common sense, because we know that shit doesn't fucking exist in 2025. I don't agree with the logic that's being used for some of these lawsuits. However, the expert put it very, very, very well. This is why you just don't talk shit about people. You can not like people, and that's socially acceptable. Not everybody's going to get along. Not everybody in life is meant to be friends. But on the internet, you're conglomerated together, and not everybody's going to get along. But sometimes people just need to learn when, oh yeah, I agree. And I'm not saying that I agree with her on any level. I'm just saying, do you notice somebody has read her lawsuits and is not being sued? Just saying. And Ninja Puppy, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, this right here. I would never hit a woman, but being married, I understand it. Like, you know, I read I didn't read the suit. I was in experts chat last night. All of this is unnecessary because both sides won't stop. And I'm not saying that, you know, I agree the facts are generally on one side and not the other. However, 40 days without any documents in a case, and people still couldn't stop talking about it. That to me spoke volumes. That to me spoke volumes. And that kind of made me sick of like everything. And I just got to a point where I'm like, I just fucking hate this. Like, and now there are documents, and they are interesting and kind of funny documents to me. In the sense of like, it's in pro se defendants are always interesting to me because I like how people tick. And I like to see if people follow try to copy what a lawyer would write or just fucking wing it. It's interesting to me. Plus, I do, at the end of the day, think this case has merit. Like, these federal cases, I believe, have merit. Once again, it's again, don't talk shit about people on the internet. From both sides. It's one of the, like, it's just, some people just exist to create chaos and troll online. Yeah, it's just, so that is valid, but only because of BBB's actions were not for him. I think the first suit would have been completed already. And see, I'm not really sure that the first suit would have been completed already, in the sense of some of this shit just takes a long time. However, I think it would have been a lot less dramatic. I believe that there would have been mediation. I believe we would have been farther in the process. I believe that we would have been farther in the process. I don't think it would have been done just because shit takes forever. Like, shit takes forever. However, according to the judge, discovery deadline is today. And let's face it, how many people think anybody... This right here. Yes. Awfully honoring. Your name is... that hits right here. That gets me right in the feels, because right now that is me. These lawsuits have gotten to the point where they have little to do with the original problems and people. Yes. And I am all for people talking about it, because it needs to be out there, because we need transparency in our court systems. And that, I believe personally, that federal courts need more transparency. And that's why I like talking about federal suits, is because federal shit stays behind paywalls with Pacer. There are no cameras. Like, so, do you need help? Okay, let me bring it here. I know you want to color. Okay. Oh, baby girl, there's only 5% battery left, so use it wisely. Love you. Thank you. I love talking about federal courts, because I think that federal courts have no transparency. Not a lot of people talk about them. There's a lot of shit that happens in federal court that affects us all. And because you have to pay for documents, because there's no cameras, I believe federal courts need more transparency, which is one of the reasons that I love talking about them. Not like anybody else, but me cares. However, oh yes, look at the nuisance streamers. Troller is going to troll until trolling has consequences. Look at the Johnny Somali case. Even when there are consequences, troller's going to troll. And do you notice, people tried trolling in here, and people tried trolling in here. I haven't seen them in a while. I kind of miss the trolls. I kind of miss my haters, because I can name some people that y'all know that are my haters. People that you think that I'm friends with that I'm not. I can name some people that probably hate my guts, which is, yeah, that's true. But I'm wondering, and this is just mine, people that hate you, the more you talk about them, they get what they want. They get their attention. And all they're trying to do is get under Jeremy's skin. And the more they know they succeed, they get happy. So I'm kind of wondering if it's like the opposite. Like, the less I talked about certain people, the more I got under their skin. And that was entertaining to me. And they had meltdowns on their streams every night, and it was great to see. And then they stopped trolling me, which I guess is kind of nice, because I just want to be left alone in the beginning anyway. But at the same time, I kind of miss it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna like start talking shit about them again just to. I call them a name, because at the end of the day, I will never call them by their real names, because you talked about my daughter, bitches. You are the thunder cunts for life. You are the epitome of a Cuntosaurus Rex. And the fact that my phone autocorrects to Cuntosaurus Rex is kind of freaky. But there are some people that I will never refer to by their names, because they talked about my daughter. But other than that, like, y'all, oh yes, and I don't fault Jeremy for filing the lawsuits, but sometimes I'm wondering, and this is just from me wondering how people tick, and knowing how some people tick, and knowing that they only live and they only go on YouTube to get under his skin. If he stopped talking about them, and I wonder if he would get under their skin more. and then he would win ultimately because he would get under their skin and they wouldn't get under his, or at least not publicly. Just a and I agree, but I don't, because all they're trying to do is get under his skin, and they're succeeding, which is why they keep doing it and why they keep bringing in new people. At a certain point, a flea is just that, an annoying flea. You put on some tick medication, some flea and tick medication, and you ignore it, and the problem will die out. Not the legal issue, but the online and the outside of court stuff. Because just in the sense of they know that they get under his skin. That's why they keep doing it. And it's like, oh, and I agree, but that's where the court stuff comes in. But I also think the judge, seeing that the, like, oh yeah, and I don't think that's going to go over well. You never, ex parte communications, in my opinion, like I said, not a lawyer. I've never been confused with a lawyer, unlike some people. Sorry. Sorry. I just gotta stop for a second. Okay. So, they are winning because they keep getting under his skin. And every time he makes a video, they get under his skin, so they make another one. And it's just this back and forth, and it's just like, it's exhausting to watch. I can only imagine what it's like to be involved, because it's exhausting to watch. But let's get to the documents in the Federal 1 case before I have to get going, because I have to work tonight. And I have to work tonight. I have to make some actual money, because YouTube doesn't exactly, I mean, it does pay the bill. It pays the bill. It barely pays for itself at this point. But I like it. I was watching Camelot's stream last night, and he's like, any YouTuber, people that tell me that, I can't remember how he phrased it, but he was like, people that tell me that YouTubers are bad people for making money on YouTube or trying to make money on YouTube. It's like, why the hell do you think people are monetized? And he said, like, Asmongold or some other people, he was like, if someone gave them $50 million, you'd never see them on a stream again. You never would. Like, you never would. You never would. The pink banner makes it difficult to read. And I don't have control over that. I don't have control over that. That is a Streamlabs thing, and I can't figure out how to change it. I'm sure there is a way, but in settings, I'd have to go into, like, the big settings, because it doesn't give me an easy way to change it in here. I'd have to go on to Streamlabs' regular website and do it. It is, and sometimes it's different colors, and I don't know why. It's odd. It's one of my let's see if I change my background or my overlay, if it changes the color. Let's do this and see what I get. Nope, Make a list of those things and harass your tech support guys. Yeah, and that's the thing. Since I switched to Streamlabs, I like Streamlabs for a lot of things a lot better than StreamYard, and because it's half the price. And, you know, if I was like making, thousands of dollars on YouTube per month, that would be great. But we're working on like not even a car payment here. So let me change the overlay and see if that changes it. Go back to the nope, darn it. Yeah, Liz, if I could change it easily and I had that skill, or I could easily change it in the Talk Studio. Cat and Karen, you know how. We'll talk about it. I know there's probably a way to do it. It's just Streamlabs is not so user friendly. You have StreamYard, simple interface, super user friendly. Streamlabs, you have to be a little bit more on the like OBS knowledgeable side. And this girl not so techie. Remember, my degree is in occupational therapy, not cybersecurity or computer science or any of that. And here, Captain Kern, how are you doing today? So yeah, but we will get to documents in the well. Yes, it died. Yep, it died. Oh, okay. Sweet. I got a Venmo, but it's from my boss. So I was like, oh, somebody Venmo'd me. It's like, yeah, it's for hours that I'm working tonight. All right. This one, Defendant John Cook's request for order under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 41A2, dismissing counterclaim count 1. Pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 41A2, Defendant John Cook requests an order dismissing counterclaim count 1. See document 69. For reference, this is document 150. Without prejudice. Memorandum in support. FRCP 41A2 provides, quote, except as provided in Rule 41A1, an action may be dismissed at the plaintiff's request only by court order on terms that the court considers proper. Unless the order states otherwise, a dismissal under this paragraph is without prejudice. Here's where it gets funny. Go under styles, change theme, pick a dark theme. It's Pride Month and they're forcing colors on some themes. Okay, let me go. Okay. Styles. Hold on. Stupid me. Probably a good idea to leave. Yeah, Squid fixes humans, not computers. Yes. Speaking of which, I'm on a mission to help somebody find some cheaper styles, themes, change themes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they changed the okay, I see. Oh. Let's see. Let's try this one. Yeah, they changed it. Let's try this one. There we go. Ooh, that's weird. Let's just do basic. Basic black. There we go. Thank you. I knew there was a way to do it. I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. It's copy paste BBB. Yeah. It is. But this is where it gets funny to me. To me anyway. Like I have a weird sense of humor, so y'all can think I'm completely nuts because, most of you do anyway. I am not accused of making any roadside signs, and thus the counterclaim accusing the plaintiff of framing Preston is not worth pursuing by me. Also, I have no money to pay for the expert witness at this time. This is the sentence where I'm like, okay, like, I'm not going to bring a counterclaim because I can't pay a witness. No, Liz, I appreciate that feedback, because if you guys don't give me feedback on what you're seeing, I can't learn and grow as a streamer. However, I certain things that are obvious in StreamYard are not obvious in Streamlabs. But StreamYard decided to charge $46 a month for what I was getting, whereas I get more for half the price for Streamlabs. And sometimes you just, yeah. Plus now I don't get ridiculed by a certain slug for, yeah. That's where it gets funny. I'm just like, what he has said or written in various things, I'm just like, there's some contradiction in terms here. I didn't apply the theme. I did. I hit apply. Did it not work? Because it changed on my end, and I hit apply. I hit apply, and it hit apply. Oh, there we go. Now it should have applied because I did it again. So Streamlabs $149 per year. Yeah, that's like 3 months of StreamYard. It didn't change on your end. Yeah, because even though you hit apply, there's something with StreamYard and Streamlabs and YouTube and all the streaming services interaction with YouTube. It's not just me. Expert had an issue with his mic last night and some not being able to see chat for a minute. Camelot had an issue with StreamYard and not being able to see chat and his YouTube going away. I had issues with Chrome crashing on me yesterday. I am not alone. I've seen other people have issues streaming, so it's it's not just me, which thank God, because then I know it's not just me. Larry Foreman said result today in Karen retrial. Yannetti smiling, family happy, Karen in tears. Let's see if I. Ooh. I am going to keep this one on standby. Because they are back. When they cut in, we will go to the Karen Reed verdict, because I really want to see. But we will cut in with the Karen Reed verdict when they go to something other than a ceiling fan. So thank you, Paul. Somebody was doing that for me yesterday, but then they never came back. So, yeah, and that's the thing. We're going to get to the, it's a browser cache thing. Well, it can't just be me, because I do that once a week. So it can't just be me. That's on every Sunday. My computer does cleans itself. And then I run a program. It's called Clean My Mac or something like that, where I do automatic, where I do all that stuff once a week. So, yeah, that fan is famous. Change to Brave. It's not just you, it's like every browser. Well, I do the, I was having issues, and I don't know if anybody is doing this. Like, I was looking up some cases last night, and those cases no longer exist. Those cases no longer exist. Like, you can't find them on certain websites, which is odd. So I have no money to pay for the expert witness at this time. I can actually agree with him on that. Like, I will call it like I see it. I can see wanting to dismiss, especially a counterclaim that you did not file, in the sense of a lawyer filed it for you, and you may or may not have had input, if you know what I mean. So you may or may not have had input on it. So now it's like, okay, you have no money for the expert witness. I want this gone. If I'm able to do so later, I wish to pursue this claim in a separate action in my form of choice. And this is how I don't think that he got this. He got the template from Bruce, but I don't think Bruce wrote this. I think he copied and pasted from motions that Bruce has written, but I don't think Bruce helped him physically write this, because I don't think Bruce would have said, yeah, drop that counterclaim. I think this is a decision, my personal opinion. Y'all can feel free to disagree with me. I know you guys do all the time. I think this is a decision he actually made on his own. I think part of it was sealed, and I think part of it was they might have dismissed but usually even when someone dismisses the case, the documents that are there still remain. And yeah, one of these cases, there was no motion to seal, and there would be no reason for this person to seal other than being embarrassed that somebody read it out on the internet, which is not a reason to have a yeah, there's that too. But I think that expert is not. I think John knows that expert's not. I mean, like, I don't like John Cook. We would never be friends. I don't think he is a good person. But just because I don't think someone's a good person doesn't mean I think they're stupid, and doesn't mean, like, I'm going to. I don't know how to put that. Where, like, just because I don't like somebody, I'm not going to automatically assume that they're stupid. Bad decisions and stupid are two different things, in my opinion. Yeah, bad decisions and stupid are two different things. You can be a very smart person and make very bad decisions. The two are not mutually exclusive. So I think that somebody might have come to the realization that expert might not be a good expert, if you know what I mean. And I don't think that Bruce would have wanted counterclaim 1 to get dropped. Yeah. I don't think he did it on his own, but I think he has parted ways with BBB and getting help somewhere else. That could be true. But this doesn't sound like. I mean, this does sound like, when I've seen him in chats, if that is truly him, this sounds like that. So when I've seen him in chats, if you've seen him supposedly, if that's really him in chats, that person that's typing in chats, like he was in Rosalind's chat when she was doing the timeline stuff, that sounds like whoever wrote this. Not to say that is John Cook, but that person has the name John Cook, or uses the name John Cook. So, like, it sounds like whoever is that person typing in chat is this person that wrote this. So it's that $1 million question, you know? But here's the thing that Lynette wrote one too. Fleesa was helping as well as Marla Hughes. Well, I'm sorry. Despite what she says, I don't think anybody has. I don't think that was written by her. I think that was copied and pasted from other motions that Bruce has written to get the framing or to get certain parts of it. The only thing that I believe that he wrote are like 2 or 3 sentences in that second paragraph at the bottom, but that's it. Other than that, Walrus 1 also filed in Fed 2 with counsel. I don't think that JC is stupid. He's conveniently gifted. He has to be in some manners to be a grifter, but even those don't deserve to be screwed over by BB. Yeah, like I think that Bruce as a whole made this shit much, much worse for them. Much worse. Much, much worse. I think Bruce made this much worse for everybody. Everybody. That's a good point. She fancies herself a good lawyer. But we're gonna go to 111 pages. $11.10. Oh yeah. All right. And a lot of this, and I don't know why I downloaded that whole thing, because we've seen a lot of this already. Jury is back deliberating. All right. I thought there was going to be something to see, but they went from a fan to... They went from a ceiling fan back to the... Yeah. Back to their little... That's fine. Oh, yeah. Possibly. She's watching something, and I don't know what, but she's playing with her stickers, so she's just letting the same short play over and over and over again. We have a sticker issue right now. Yeah, it's the same as 148. I didn't download 148 though. I saw that they were similar, and I just downloaded the latest. Because when I see 2 that are the same, motion to compel, second motion to compel, I just download the latest one. Because, you know, I don't make that, you know, nice big YouTube money that some people make. So I'm balling on a budget here. So I download as few documents as possible to get the same. Yeah, I swear that ceiling fan has more YouTube time than most streamers. In fact, most ceiling fans in most courthouses do. You would be surprised at how much screen time ceiling fans and clocks get. Yeah, Yeah, well, James, we're not going to touch that one. I wouldn't touch that Discord with a 100-foot pole and some antibiotics. All right. And I get all my own documents so that no one can ever accuse me of being a grifter and getting documents from other people and running up someone's pacer bill and using someone else for their pacer. I buy all my own. I buy all my own documents. So every document that you see that I have, I've acquired on my own. Plaintiff's second motion to compel the production of documents and motion for a better response from defendants Preston and Cook. Pursuant to court's order dated February 6th of 2025, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 37 and Rule 26.1D of Local Rules for the Northern District of Florida, Plaintiff Jeremy Hale respectfully requests the court issue an order compelling defendant Lynette, and John, collectively defendants, to fulfill their discovery obligations, including by searching for and either producing or justifying the withholding of all materials in their possession, custody, or control, responsive to plaintiff's request for production, plaintiff's first set and second set of requests for production, and providing sworn declaration regarding the preservation efforts the defendants have taken, all locations and data the defendants have used to communicate about relevant topics, and the searches the defendants have conducted to locate responsive documents. Oh, yeah, no. I still got to figure out how other people are getting on his payroll because Nope. Yeah. Squidge, no, figure skating is just expensive. Yeah. My fucking skates. I could, Mom, I could sell them skates and probably pay for a month of our mortgage with the selling the skates and the guards and the blades and stuff. I could probably make more selling the skates and the blades separately. Could probably get 2 months rent or 2 months mortgage out of that. Angel. Wow. Plaintiff also requests that the court award attorney's fees and the cost of this motion and additional sanctions the court deems appropriate. For nearly 137 days, both defendants have avoided fulfilling their most basic discovery obligations, including by refusing to search for and produce all responsive documents. Even the court had ordered that, quote, the appropriate time to make legally proper objections is when responding to the discovery request. It is not in a response to a motion to compel or an amended response is filed after a motion to compel. Document 88. In good faith, plaintiff has attempted since December of 24 to resolve these discovery disputes without court intervention. While the parties were able to narrow certain issues following the January 9th 90-minute phone conference, the parties remain at an impasse regarding defendants' continued objections made in their amended responses since January 21st, defendants' refusal to search for and produce all responsive materials, despite court's order that defendants must produce responsive documents within their possession, custody, or control, or defendants' refusal to detail their efforts to preserve, collect, and search potentially responsive data and locations that may contain such materials. Both defendants have refused to state whether or not they diligently searched for and are still refusing to produce any materials responsive to 2 of 4 sets of plaintiff requests for production. Copies being attached hereto is Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2. Chris, thanks for the 5 pound. Squid, your boss just spoke up. LOL, i.e. baby squid. Yeah, that's the boss. Oi. Stopped in for a moment. John Cook was in your chat yesterday. No one acknowledged she's coming. Well, okay. There is, not to say that it was that John Cook, but there is a John Cook, a separate John Cook. That is not the John Cook from Otter Creek. Because not the last time, because I had to work, but the time before that, I think it was third time Rosalind did her stream on the timeline stream, both John Cooks were in there at the same time. And one was claiming to be the John Cook from Otter Creek, and one was like, I think he was from Canada. He's like, same name, that's not me. So was he claiming to be the Otter Creek John Cook, or was he, because I didn't see. I probably would have responded to him if I had seen him. I don't know about figure skates, but hockey skates are $300 and up. My youngest played travel hockey from 2nd grade to high school graduation. My Adeas were, I think the boots themselves were $900. That's not the blades. That's just the boots. So, yeah. I'm not going to tell you how much my blades were. Yeah. And then you pay not only for the boots and the blades, but then you got to pay somebody to fit them, mold them to your feet because they heat them up and they mold them. Then you have to pay somebody to mount the blades. And mounting includes not only putting them on there, but you putting them on, you moving around, walking around, and analyzing how your feet are, where the blades are, and adjusting the blades to make sure they are in the right positions. It gets pretty yeah, gets pretty expensive. Plaintiff's requests for production are RFPs, copies being attached here to as Exhibits 1 and 2. For the following requests for production, defendants continue to make objections in their amended responses to RFPs 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, and 17. We remember these from back in January. RFP 1, all documents and communications relating to any allegations in this matter, including but not limited to all communications you have had with any person or entity named in the complaint or named in plaintiff's responses in opposition to your motion for summary judgment, including all exhibits attached thereto. And this is where the judge was like, you can't make blanket objections. You need specifics. Yeah, expensive. It costs a damn load of money. Yeah. And that's just not like lessons cost, ice time costs money. Private ice costs, like back in the day, $7 to $15 an hour. And then a coach costs between $20 and $50 an hour, depending on how good your coach are and what their specialty is, or coach is. So, yeah, shit is expensive. But we don't have an ice rink within 2.5 hours of here, so skating is not really my thing anymore. The size is general. The size is like a regular shoe. And then they can be heat molded again. So they just have to be taken to a skate shop and heated up, and they can be molded to somebody else's feet. So number 2, all documents and communications relating to plaintiff that you have with any other person or entity, including without limitation the following people: Russell Meeks, your co-defendants, Melissa Lemmerman, plaintiff, Jeremy Bryan Hales, Therese Granger, Martha Risk, Stephen Granger, Amanda Martin, Rhett Cunningham, Mary DeGroot, Deanna West, Don Severino, Stewart. That's the name. Steve Worm, Thomas Collins, Zim Paget, Marcia Gale, Patty Hill, and all these names. I'm not going to read through all these. Number 3, all documents relating to any statement attributed to you in the complaint or in plaintiff's response in opposition to your motion for summary judgment, including but not limited to all documents and communications relating to any investigation into the truth or falsity of any statement attributed to you in the complaint or in plaintiff's response in opposition to your motion for summary judgment by you or anyone else. 6, all documents and communications of which you are aware of that refute any statement attributed to you in the complaint or in plaintiff's response in opposition to your motion for summary judgment about plaintiff. This cook said he lives in lots of people's heads and he laughed. John Cook from Poconos is blue. Real John Cook is purple. Yeah. That's a really good question. Yeah. The thing is he doesn't live in my head because you have to have a memory longer than a housefly. And when I turn off my computer, there's a reason that I have to write all these dates down. It's because I can't remember this shit. Saved my love and life. Because when I turn off my computer, a date that John owes discovery by is not important to me. When I turn on my computer and I have to start paying attention, yeah, it's important, but by then I can't remember it. 7, documents and communications sufficient to identify all usernames, handles, aliases, and other identifiers you have ever used on social media to publish information about plaintiff by name or otherwise. Oh, Jeffrey, stop picking on people for being different colors. I thought we were well beyond that. Jeffrey, you saw my attempts at making Muppets, right? Talk about different colors. They were bad. They were bad. 9, all engagement letters and invoices and documents otherwise sufficient to identify all of the attorneys with whom you have had an attorney-client relationship in connection with any civil litigations to which you are a party, and or civil or criminal litigation, grand jury testimony, and or state or federal investigations relating to the plaintiff by name or otherwise. So by name or otherwise means like germ. One squid uses a microwave. I'm not quite to that point yet. Oh, I have the little killed the battery on my iPad, but I have so we have 2 things. We have the planner that is like the big old planner. And then I will show it to you guys on the phone, but it's really small on the phone. It works really, really well with it works really well with an iPad and the phone or the Apple Pencil. But like you can barely see it, but it's a notebook that is like it has everything from a reading log, dream tracker, habit tracker, birthdays, movie log, brain dump, password tracker, online stuff. Like it goes into everything. It has the planner, and I can change the color right there with the Apple Pencil, and it's so easy. So I have it all. I just don't, it's where I fill out like my monthly income logs and, like Tay's auditors laugh like hell. Yamaha just went from 2 to number 1. Way to go. Yeah, anybody know what that like is all about and what it actually means? Because I have no idea. Who's a Muppet? This is what I look like in real life. You might look like a Muppet, but I sound like a Muppet. Like, yeah, MS Coast Life, 100 different names. Yeah. It's all those alt accounts that you got. All engagement letters, invoices, and documents otherwise sufficiently. Yep. I read that one. 17 for each fact. See, I can't even remember what I read. I stopped looking at it like I start looking at it and I'm like, oh wait, I already read that. 17 for each fact for lay witness you expect to testify at the trial of this matter, all documents reviewed by, prepared by, relied upon, provided to, or received from each such witness relevant to this matter. And the little basically said, F y'all, I'm out of here, and took off into the living room. Just think, people have used all those dates and phone numbers and address all memorized. You just picked up a phone and actually dialed the phone. Yeah, but that's when I didn't have 2 head injuries and brain surgery. So there's that. I got a Miss Piggy joke, but I'm not nice, but you're having a fun. You'll crack me up. Like, I ran some errands today, and I had to like talk to somebody, and he had a fan running, and he was like, "No, it's my fan." I'm like, "No, I sound like an emphysemic." Like I was like, "I sound like an Muppet with emphysema." He was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, yeah. It's YouTube's attempt to get people involved in participating in chat. I need to get a way for people to get people to like super chat me. Because, you know, like asking people to like and super chat are like my 2 worst things I'm so bad at. Because I like to talk about things that matter. I forget to be a grifter. And part of being a good YouTuber is being a good grifter. Like Camelot, man, Camelot freaking has this like ability to get like $400 worth of super chats in the first like half an hour of his stream. I don't know how the hell this man has done that. But I'm like, teach me your ways. I was learning from Jeff, the art of the grift. And I'm like, I'm so bad at it. I used to say baby squid's banana money, but now she's kind of over the banana money. So like, she's over the banana phase. Like, she'll eat one every now and then, but before she used to, y'all remember, my OGs used to remember her throwing hissy fits because I wouldn't let her have a banana. Because y'all know, if you eat more than 2 or 3 bananas, you know what it does to your digestive system. Anyway, back to the subject. So it's encouraging spamming them. Well, time to drop trow and get to work. Jesus. Oh, go with some crayons. Oh, hey, Rick. Since my stroke, can't remember new stuff. Old things still in there. Well, at least you got the old things. Because there's some people who have strokes and lose the old things. And also can't get the things that are in there out. So at least you got that going for you. So you need star fruit money. They're $2 to $5 each, depending on where you are. How about we here's my new grift. How about you give me money, like you help me pay for like Walmart Plus, because Walmart and Publix are the only like grocery stores and Food Lion that we got around here. But Publix is bougie. I don't have Publix money. But how about y'all send me Publix money so I can start shopping at Publix and not run into my mother-in-law at the grocery store? So how about we do that? Like, 3 awesome dogs. Hey, how are you? There's a minister downtown Florida that could teach you how to grift. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Diaper money. $44 for a box of 100 diapers. $44 for freaking 100 diapers. And that 100 diapers will last a month. I can't wait till we're done with potty training because diapers are expensive. Odd. No, Jackie, you're fine. This is one of the reasons that I hate grifting because, like, that's one of the reasons I monetize my streams so that I don't have to, like, rely on the super chats. It's just funny because, like, everybody has a thing, and I just don't have a thing, and I'm just really bad at like, you know, I just, but now after today, it's send me Publix money so that I don't have to shop at Walmart and run into my mother-in-law. Oh, you can ask my mom. You can ask Mama Squid. She's in the chat. It was like, oh, we're going this way. Can I use your Lamborghini? Well, yeah, if I had one, one, I'm not sure I would let you borrow it, but two, I wouldn't, yeah. Oh, Rick, thank you for the $2 super chat. Diaper monies. Although I do have a new car. I do have a new car. It's it came from mostly inheritance money. So start a squid rescue. Oh, I like it. I love it. By the way, I'm a former squid too. Love it. I need to do, I was thinking about doing, side note, and I'm sorry for those of you who are just here for the document. I apologize for my sidebar here. However, it was the Army's 250th birthday last Saturday. October is the Navy's 250th birthday. And if I said 230, I meant 250. Sorry, I did the English. It's the Navy's 250th in October. And I liked what Flux did. And she had a bunch of her and Mrs. Flux, Valhalla, and Shizzy were all on her stream. If you haven't checked that out, you need to go. And it was all them just telling like Army stories. I think I want to do something close to that for the Navy. So if y'all are interested in coming on my channel for the Navy's 250th birthday celebration, let me know, because I'm wanting to get a bunch of Navy vets and just telling sea stories and a bunch of shit that happened that you can just look back at and laugh, or shit that didn't make any sense. Like, you know, just random sea stories that like you've been dying to tell another vet that you just can't, no one else gets it. I'm dying to do that. So if y'all want to do that, shoot me a Discord message or an email. You served before I was born, probably. But and I do sometimes. In the center console of the car is the 3 things that are the most important: the hand sanitizer, the card for the gas card, and the gas discount card, and a quarter for an Aldi card. Baby Squid Time would generate more super chats. I'm sure it would. However, she is like it. Probably not, considering the Navy can't really have you can't, a lot of the Navy stuff you can't run down the middle of the road, you know. But you know, oh yeah, yeah, I was born in '85, so there's that. But still, like the no offense, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but the old timers, in the sense of the before the Navy went woke, have the best sea stories, because that is yeah, October 13th, 1775. So the Navy was 1775 as well. So it's just October. Submarine races. Well, I can't. Nope, can't do that, because if you are caught taking pictures of submarines, they will take your device. And if you do not show that you deleted those messages, they will take your device and they will destroy your device. So, yeah. All right, getting back to this. Moreover, defendants do not appear to have ever engaged in a collection, professional or otherwise, of all potential sources of responsive information to the following requests for production, which are therefore insufficient. RFP 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, and 20. Defendants have not confirmed whether they have ever searched any of their own social media, email accounts, or engaged in any search of their text messages or messaging applications. Defendants' responses to number 4, all documents and communications concerning the steps you have taken to preserve documents and communications relevant to this lawsuit, including the documents and communications responsive to these requests, is that there are no responsive documents. Can you outfit baby Squid with a cam on a harness so we can follow the antics of Squidlet? If I didn't want to give you guys a tour of my house, if I wanted to give you guys a tour of my house, I would. But if y'all want a tour of my house, I did upload a video before we moved furniture in, so y'all can see where how not big my house is. So, defendants' discovery responses stated that each defendant will only produce the text that each defendant still saved. See discovery responses to RFP 1, 2, 3, and 6. This is very convenient. So if the defendant says, I didn't save it, it's gone. Yep, there was a dude that was busted not too many years ago for taking a selfie on board a sub. I know he was set up for court-martial. I think his a-hole was rearranged, but I'm not sure what happened. I had to read that second part, like, wait, can I read this on the stream? In their amended responses to the same request, defendants again lodged objections to 1, 3, and 6, produced nothing in 2. This means defendants' decision to opt out of meaningfully participating in the discovery process. Reading is hard, y'all. Violates the federal rules. This court's order dated February 26th and necessitates the court entering the relief plaintiff respectfully requests herein. Background. Since the court's order dated February 26th, instructing defendants that they may not object to any amended discovery responses, defendants still maintain the objections to their amended discovery responses, have produced nothing, despite being advised that if the defendants have responsive documents within their possession, custody, or control, then they should provide such to plaintiffs. On March 20th, plaintiffs sent defendants' counsel a deficiency letter, which specifies even further defendants' deficient responses, a copy being attached hereto is Exhibit 7. As of today, there has been no further responses, and defendants refuse to engage in any diligent search. Yeah, because that takes effort and give a shit. And as we've seen, people don't give a shit. Despite plaintiffs seeking the information since November 12th to 24, defendants have never provided plaintiff or the court with an explanation of the steps, if any, they have taken to preserve responsive materials or to search the full universe. Well written, Randy, well written, of records potentially responsive to plaintiff's request within their possession, custody, or control. He is being very specific in this. And as I've said before last year, the specificity is nice because then you can't weasel out with loopholes. Well, you didn't say that specifically. No, bitch, I did. I did. There has not even been a response to plaintiff's first deficiency letter. Yeah, because, well, here's my guess. And this is just my personal opinion. I could be completely way off base. Bruce never showed that letter to them. Giving them the benefit of the doubt in this one, I guarantee, and this is my opinion, that Bruce never showed them the deficiency letter. So when he stopped being their counsel, they have no idea that that existed. Which, if that truly happened, in my opinion, would be a grounds for them to file a bar complaint against Bruce. John, Lynette, if you're listening and you're pissed at Bruce because he got you into all this shit and you never saw that letter, you might have grounds to sue your attorney. You might have grounds for inefficient counsel. You might have grounds, I'm not saying you do. You might want to talk to someone who knows more than me, but just an idea, talking to someone who's smarter than me. If you really want to cause some chaos, file a bar complaint against your own lawyer. Because if you didn't see this deficiency letter, how would you know to respond to it? That sounds like what the bar said that Leslie did to a couple of her clients, or one of her clients, when they were supposed to be at a sanctions hearing, and they were held in contempt because Leslie never told, according to the bar, Leslie never told them that they had a hearing to be at. Just saying. Oh, well, see, that shows you how much I pay attention to the... And y'all, that's what y'all are good for, because I don't talk and I don't listen to... I don't listen and I don't bother watching streams of people who, one, I don't like and don't like me. So, yeah. So I appreciate that. But just saying. That sounds like something a sailor would do. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I did do crossing the line. I have pictures from that in my cruise book. I don't actually have personal pictures because we weren't allowed to. Plaintiffs served their second set of requests for production February 24th of 25. As of today, nothing has been produced and there has been no response by the defendants to second RFPs. See Exhibit 8 and 9. Accordingly, March 27th, plaintiff sent defendants a second deficiency letter, copy being attached here. 2 is Exhibit 10. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 37E provides for certain forms of relief when a party fails to take reasonable steps to preserve electronically stored information that should have been preserved in the anticipation or conduct of litigation. My opinion is that you don't produce any discovery, summary judgment. I mean, that's an admission of guilt if you don't produce any discovery, because discovery is not only is supposed to provide the facts. And if you didn't do anything and you didn't do anything wrong, well, produce the documents. Prove that you didn't do anything wrong. So this is just my personal opinion. If you didn't... Angel. The little needs my help. I will be right back. Oh, yes. While I am gone, here is my disclaimer video that I forgot to share.
The creator does not give medical, legal, or financial advice. You may hear opinions on this channel from the creator and guests that you may not agree with, and that is okay. Everyone is welcome to their own thoughts, views, and opinions, and this is a place for open debate and agreeing to disagree. Thank you. Do not contact anyone discussed in this stream. If you do, you will be blocked from this channel, and then continuously shamed by the creator and the chat for being stupid.
Mama's working. We're gonna keep that right there. Oh, you tinky. Good job, Avery. Good job, girl. Yeah. Come here, you tinky girl. Stand up, look at me, girl. Oh, you tinky. What did that must just happened. Yes. Sit. No, baby. You got your pad right there, boo boo. Ooh, baby, that's a tinky butt. Ooh, that's a girl. Avery, it's okay. It's okay, baby. What hurts? Did your butt hurt? Did your butt hurt? Sorry. Did that poop hurt? He's in the bathroom, baby. Thank you for your understanding. That was fun. Yep. I know I wasn't muted. It was there was a multitude of things happened. The Mr. got home. We had packages delivered at the same time that he got home, and the little needed the little behind was tanky, so we had a 3-fer, and then gotta wash the hands and stuff. So you heard everything. It's okay. Yeah, she needed to go. It happens. So at least y'all didn't hear me washing my hands. All right. Getting back to this. We are on 7 of 17. And then we'll get to he's home early. Y'all, like, I'm the only person that's ever been, who's ever hot liked it. Like, y'all get over it. Sorry. She was screaming that it hurt, and it was like, I don't know what hurt. It wasn't her bottom, so it was the fact that she didn't. Yeah, you know her. She just, it hurts. It hurts. Nothing hurts. You just don't want to be here. I did. Yes, I did. Ugh, gross. Ew. You nasty. Oh, apparently I can unlock my phone from across the room. Or across the... That's weird. At least everyone knows. Yeah. And, yeah. Everyone knows. Mama duties come first. I love y'all, but she's my world. And she doesn't like to be doing anything. Yes, at least you didn't hear me wash my hands, like run in the water and all of that, because I had to go to the bathroom too. So if y'all heard me wash my hands, that means y'all heard me go to the bathroom. So at least y'all didn't hear that, was what I was getting at. Oh, I don't care. No problem. Most of us put up with the expert. Yes, Jeffrey. The issue with the second bit, the hand washing, was there was something that went with the hand washing. So if y'all would have heard the hand washing, y'all would have heard the other part too, was what I was getting at. But thanks for making me spell it out. Because if she's going to get a diaper change, I'm trying to drink 2 of these a day. Girl's got to relieve her bladder. Did too. You're funny. No, it did not. Shut up, Mom. You're the one that always tells me, I got to go to the bathroom. More information. All right. It's part of one of those getting old things and working at a hospital. Like, you'd be surprised you cared about other people's bathroom habits when you work in a hospital. My nurses can tell me, my nurses and my medical professionals, not the doctors per se, but everybody else can tell you you're more concerned with patients' bathroom habits. Yeah. Well, I always say she has a tinky butt, because that's better than saying you shit your pants. Come on. That's why she's got the nickname Tinky. Come on. She's never going to live that down either, because her dad gave that to her. She's never going to live that name down. All right. So my rule, my if I were the judge, I don't know if he can do this, but if a party doesn't want to give up their discovery, summary judgment. Summary judgment. Oh, Jeffrey, you're hilarious. Patrick, how are you? Is this your first comment of the day? Is today's episode of Squid is a mom first, YouTuber second, and toddler time. My friend kept taking Mike to the bathroom with him and going to sleep on stream. Oh, I remember. I think it was Legal Vices who did that. I might be wrong. I know that he hot mic'd it when he went into the kitchen to get himself a drink and dropped a glass. But he everybody poops. There's a book that I'm about to buy for potty training time that says, I think it's called Everybody Poops. It's to not be embarrassed by the fact that you have to go to the bathroom. Shush. Shut up, Mom. All right. If I were a judge and I had the power to do it, if you didn't turn over discovery, instead of making you fight and fighting you to try to pull teeth to get discovery, summary judgment. If the opposing party puts in a motion for a plaintiff, if the opposing party puts in a motion for summary judgment based on non-discovery, I grant it. But that's just me. I don't know if that's allowed, but that's what I would do if it was allowed. Like I said, Flash fan goes, Judge Squid. This is what Judge Squid would do. This is why Judge Squid is not a good judge. Because I'd be like, I'm done with y'all. You didn't turn over discovery. I'm not fighting you for it. Here, you're done. Under federal rules, the presumption that the responding party must bear the expense of complying with discovery requests, including when discovery is stored electronically. Oppenheimer Fund v. Sanders, 1978. When a party fails to obey discovery order, Federal Rules Civil Procedure 37B authorizes the court to issue further just orders, including the imposition of sanctions, such as directing the matters to embrace in the order or other designated facts be taken as established for purposes of the action. Sorry, I just got a text message that I have to write something down. There we go. Ugh. Prohibiting the disobedient party from supporting or opposing the designated claims or defenses, or from introducing designated matters in evidence, or treating as contempt of court the failure to obey an order or obey an order. Federal Rules of Civil Procedures 37B2A, Rule 37B provides comprehensively for sanctions for failure to obey discovery orders. 8. Charles A. Wright and Arthur R. Miller Federal Practice and Procedure, Statute 2289, 1970 and 1992 supplemental. But what is the amount if that happens? For me, it would be the entirety. But that's, like I said, that's punishment for not complying with the rules. That's just me. But I'm also like a stickler for the rules, like especially, the rules of like don't be a douchebag. How about don't do anything to get yourself sued in the first place? There's my, Heck, Elemental P's first depo recorded element deliberately destroying evidence during the depo, and she hasn't been sanctioned for it. But if I'm remembering correctly, and timeline could be screwy on this, that was if I'm remembering correctly, that was the yoga depo, the one that in the state cases, which in the state cases, that was the deposition where Judge Grudge was still the judge. So that doesn't surprise me. Hey, Robert, how are you? So So is discovery something we will see the evidence on the docket or hear both sides received at the requested evidence? I don't think you're ever going to see a discovery at all. But that's just my personal opinion. So I don't think you're going to see discovery from one side at all. So I can't actually answer that. I think you'll see, if you do get it, it'll be listed as to what it is on the docket. I don't think that you will see the actual evidence, kind of like a criminal trial. And this is where there's a high probability that I'm wrong. But like, say Sarah Boone's trial, like you knew what the defense's exhibits were, but you didn't actually see the exhibits. So you knew that they had a thumb drive. You knew that they had her phone, a Cellbrite of her phone. You ask Daddy for that. You gotta wash it. No. But you don't know exactly what was on the Cellbrite drive, or so you might see like text messages from this date to this date, but you won't see the contents of those text messages. But you may see that. But yeah, for the first depo was the grudge judge case. Yeah, that's correct. It was a crazy judge, which is what got me interested in this in the first place, because I like seeing judges. Like, that's the reason that Karen Reed is so interesting. People who know me from trial watching knows that I hate the state. And at the end of the day, a prosecutor and the judge are both parties of the state. That's why Karen Reed is so fascinating. The police and the judge and the prosecutor are all corrupt. And they're all on the same team. So they might be non-biased and independent, but at the end of the day, it's the state, and the state. So when judges and prosecutors should be held to a higher standard because you are a actor of the state and you're supposed to be. So the judge being held to a higher standard and not being held being in a small town too, the good old boys club, I got it. So, being a douche or a turd sandwich, either way it stings. Yeah. So Randy could point to that depot with solid evidence of deliberate destruction against the rule of law. He could. I mean, technically, he could do anything. Whether the judge admits it is different. But technically, you could admit anything you want into discovery. It's whether the judge is grants it as evidence and especially allows the jury to see it. Because the jury only sees what the judge says they can see. So technically, Randy can do anything. Well, that is true. That is true. But the prosecution and the judge being the two most important players with the two most powerful people as actors of the state. Yeah, should being keyword. Should. And I understand being fair and kind of giving a little bit more leniency to a non-lawyer or pro se defendant than a lawyer, because at the end of the day, you're winging it. You're doing your best you can and winging it. But at the end of the day, you can't litigate from the bench. And that's what Judge Grudge was doing. All right. When a court grants a motion to compel, the court must, after giving an opportunity to be heard, require the party or deponent whose conduct necessitated the motion, reading the party or attorney advising that conduct, or both, to pay the movant's reasonable expenses incurred in making the motion, including attorney's fees, unless certain circumstances exist. Shatsky v. Syrian Arab Republic. The circumstances are that the movant filed the motion before attempting in good faith to obtain the disclosure or discovery without court action. The opposing party's non-disclosure response or objection was substantially justified, or other circumstances make an award of expenses unjust. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 37A 5A. Rule 26E states that once a party has responded to a request for production, it must supplement its disclosure in a timely manner if the party learns that in some material respect, the disclosure or response is incomplete or incorrect, and if the additional corrective information has not otherwise been made known to the other parties during the discovery process. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 26E 1A. Rule 26E does not sanction late disclosure for late disclosure's sake, nor is it a license to sandbag the opposing party with reams of pertinent information on the eve of summary judgment. Simply stated, Rule 26E is not, nor has ever been, carte blanche to ignore court-imposed deadlines. Yet with the discovery deadline just 3 days away, this being filed on the 13th, deadline is today, defendants' delays seem calculated to sandbag plaintiff in the hopes that there will be no extensions, especially to those regarding summary judgment. Oh, this right here could be an entire stream in itself. I have updates on the Hannah Dugan case, the judge in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Circuit Court judge, and the illegal alien issue. I attempted to record a video, but I still sounded way worse than I do now. So trying to edit it, I was frustrated with the ability to speak. But she's claiming judicial immunity. y'all know how I feel about judicial immunity. I don't think anybody should be immune for shit. Nobody is above the law. So, the court should compel defendants to review each of the plaintiff's document requests, to perform a complete and thorough search for responsive documents, including social media, emails, and faxes. And 3, to provide responsive documents to the plaintiffs. And 4, completion of discovery to certify to the court that they responded fully to all document requests and that no other responsive documents exist at the time of certification. 1, the court should compel defendants to detail their preservation efforts to date. My opinion is that there hasn't been any. To date, defendants personally or via counsel have not articulated any specific steps they have made to preserve what they know or reasonably should have known, what is relevant in the action, what is reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence, what is reasonably likely to be requested during discovery, and or what is the subject of a pending discovery request. They probably haven't. They probably haven't. Rule 26 imposes implicit duty to preserve relevant documents and records, affirmed by the DC Circuit Court in 2018. A district court has a broad discretion in managing discovery and handling disputes. See Republic of Ecuador versus Hinchey, 11th Circuit, 2013. Here, defendants' responses are completely inadequate. This is because defendants' responses to plaintiff's document requests have been incomplete, and in its objections to production are now waived. Defendants refuse to engage in a search for or produce any materials response to the first set of RFPs. Defendants must, but have failed to, search for or produce all records in their possession, custody, or control, which the law defines as those ones has the right, authority, or practical ability to obtain. The 11th Circuit has held that for purposes of Rule 34, control is defined not only as possession, but as the legal right to obtain the documents requested upon demand. Other cases in this district involving the sibling companies extend control to include situations where a litigant has the practical ability to obtain materials. Costa v. Kersner and International Resorts. Control does not require that a party have legal ownership or actual physical possession of the documents at issue, but merely requires that a party has the right, authority, or practical ability to obtain the materials sought on demand. Inter alia, as far as the GPS records, phone records, or mobile phone records, defendants merely respond there are no responsive documents in the defendant's possession, custody, or control, without acknowledging their legal right to obtain the documents requested upon demand from vendors, apparently without searching for those responsive documents available from the provider itself, without providing any basis for their refusal to produce materials to which they have actual or practical access, nor have the defendants, nor can they, claimed that obtaining these records would constitute any burden. PBB had told them that they did not have to answer to the discovery request because they do not have anything to the plaintiff needs. Oh my God. Yeah. I just, Wasn't there a case where the judge before the jury who had found the defendant guilty but not yet sentenced said something like, if it were up to me, to be locked up for life, never to see the light of day, but it's up to the jury. I believe that caused a tainted jury or something similar. I don't remember. I don't remember. I could be like tonight working and then all of a sudden like think of it, but at this very second I don't remember. Plaintiff does not need to perform defendant's discovery duties to obtain responsive information that is reasonably accessible to them. See generally Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26. Defendant should not be exempt from the discovery obligations of searching for and producing all materials in their possession, custody, or control as defined by the 11th Circuit. Defendant should therefore be ordered to provide the court with a declaration that details all efforts used to communicate about any materials responsive to any plaintiff's RFPs, including but not limited to specific email accounts, text messages, messaging applications, social media devices, hardware, and any form of communication, and what searches, if any, have occurred. The court should compel defendants to respond to plaintiff's second set of RFPs and grant plaintiff additional relief and sanction defendants. Plaintiff filed this motion only after attempting in good faith to obtain the disclosure or discovery without court action, sending out 2 deficiency letters, and participating in a 90-minute discovery phone conference, all of which provided defendants additional opportunity to cure deficiencies. Yet since being served with plaintiff's first set of RFPs, defendants have been unwavering in their resistance to participating in even the most basic discovery and must pay for plaintiff's efforts to compel defendants' participation. The court should preclude defendants from relying on any evidence not provided in their initial disclosures. The court should preclude defendants from relying on witnesses or information not provided in their initial disclosures. See Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 37C1. If a party fails to provide information or identify a witness as required by Rule 26A or E, the party is not allowed to use that information or witness to supply evidence on a motion, at a hearing, or at trial, unless the failure was substantially justified or is harmless. This means the defendant should not be allowed to testify about conversations which occurred with anyone whom they do not list in their initial disclosures. That means if you don't provide any discovery, you have no witnesses for trial. You have no evidence for trial because you did not turn anything over. The court should impose additional sanctions as it deems appropriate because defendant's conduct or lack thereof during discovery has prejudiced plaintiff. Plaintiff has incurred significant time and expense conferring with defendant's counsel, including the lengthy deficiency letter, over the course of the last few months. In response, defendants have delayed and obfuscated at every turn. So much that defendants were essentially given until March 4th of 25 to respond to plaintiff's first set of RFPs, which were served in November of 2024. In other words, something which should have been produced in December of Brandy, we're doing great. Which should have been produced in December of 2024 was not ultimately produced until March 4th of 2025 due to defendants' many delays, requests for clarification, which include a motion for reconsideration. Of this, the court's order granting plaintiff's first motion to compel production of plaintiff's first set of RFPs, the first deficiency letter followed thereafter. Plaintiff does not wish to depose defendants without their having complied with discovery, because responsive materials must exist and must be produced. For their conduct, plaintiff respectfully submits that the court should exercise its inherent power and broad discretion in order to contempt citations, fines, awards of attorney's fees, and such other orders and sanctions it finds necessary to assess against defendants. For example, plaintiff respectfully suggests, while deferring to the court's discretion of what sanctions are appropriate, that the court could preclude defendants from relying on any document or any testimony relevant to such document that plaintiff has requested, but they do not produce. Precluding offending party from relying on documents requested but untimely produced in litigation. Recently, in attempting to file a motion for summary judgment during the recent stay of this case, documents were attached which were never produced by defendants and are responsive to plaintiff's discovery request. Bad thing is, the jury will be allowed to assume the worst, but they won't even be able to imagine the worst. Yeah. One mistake, I'll let it pass. Not if he misspells pecuniary. That's unforgivable. The little still hasn't said pecuniary. Accordingly, the plaintiffs request an extension on the discovery deadline of 45 days after these responses have been made to allow for the deposition of the defendants and expert witness discovery. For the reasons set forth above, plaintiff respectfully requests that the court grant plaintiff's motion and compel defendants to collect, search, and produce all materials responsive to all plaintiff's RFPs, specifically detailing the searches defendants performed specifically for materials responsive to plaintiff's RFPs within the 15 days of the court's order, and bear all related costs. Hey, Edie. Compel defendants to file declarations subject to penalty of perjury, requiring defendants to detail the court within 5 days of the court's order, and all efforts taken to preserve, collect, and search potentially responsive data and documents. A complete list and location of all locations and data that the defendants use to communicate about any materials responsive to any of the plaintiff's RFPs, including but not limited to vendors, specific emails, accounts, text messages, messaging applications, social media, devices, hardware, and any form of communication. Preclude defendants from relying on any evidence not provided in their initial disclosures. He's vacuuming. At least I know my mic is good. But here's the thing. My mic should not be picking up certain things. I have it set up where it's not supposed to be picking up. It's supposed to be sound isolation. And it's not. It's apparently not working like it's supposed to. So there's that. Well, it's not supposed to be. I have my mic set up where it's not supposed to be picking up those noises. So I have my mic set up to not be. So I don't know. Oh, there. Hey, Kevin. There we go. Now I got an echo. I don't know. My freaking mic, it picks up too much. It's not supposed to be picking up certain sounds. The way I have it set up, I'm supposed to be able to have a Spawn. The thing is you don't bug me. But you know the quickest way to piss someone off is to tell a woman to calm down and breathe when they're not mad. I was literally drying my hair this morning in Spawn's stream and just commenting and I gotta breathe. And I'd go to the back of the class. I'm like, okay. We're almost done here anyway. Elgato has a sound isolation that it's supposed to have, but I can't tolerate having headphones in my ears because of my nerve issues. So maybe that's part of the problem. So yeah. All right. We're going to finish this 17 pages and then I'm going to go because I can feel my stream or my voice start to get it. And the mister is home and we need to do some stuff before I leave for work. Filing in Fed 2, in my opinion, is not going to work out well as she is inserting herself and I believe could make her a defendant in the case. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Preclude defendants from relying on any document or any testimony relevant to such documents that plaintiff has requested but to which they do not produce or have not produced to date. Award plaintiff costs incurred for the filing of the motion subject to a future filing detailing the same. Extend the discovery deadline to 45 days after the responses compelled by this order have been made to allow for the deposition of defendant's expert witness discovery and order any additional forms of relief as so desired by the court, including those discussed herein. Plaintiff requests oral argument should the court have any remaining questions not addressed by the briefing. In good faith certification, and then I'm not going to show who it was delivered to because it shows their address, and I am not being accused of I'm not being accused of any of that. The fan is getting more screen time in the Karen Reed case. So just for those of you who might want the update, who are not looking, that fan is getting some hella more screen time. And we will see. So I have to make sure I download this one because God knows to help me if I forget to download this document. We will look at the exhibits too, but we kind of seen most of them before. Download 25/6/13. I have a very interesting filing system so that I can find things. The date with the year first. I learned when I was working with Captain Kern on his daughter's case that if I put the month and the date first, it really screws you up when you're trying to find things. So it's year, month, day. Second motion to compel. And then I put the document number. So that way, if anybody asks me what document number it is, or they say document 150 whatever's out, I know if I have it. I've learned. It's taken me months to I've had to figure this out over months of doing this, of trying to figure out, because it's one thing to save, but if you don't want to embarrass yourself, like Spawn Trooper did the other day, where you're trying to find a document that you know you have, but you can't find it, so you look like a silly person on stream going, oh no, where's my document? I have a filing system so that I can actually find documents. So, oh no, Willie J just had to resubscribe to this channel. Somehow my sub was deleted. I don't know how that happens. YouTube hates me. I'm convinced. And hey, Palmers, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sweet little baby squid's banana fund. It's a diaper fund and a Palmers. Funny story for you. It's a Publix fund to help me shop at a different store besides Walmart for groceries, so that I don't run into my mother-in-law, because that happened today. I haven't seen her in a year and a half. And Ong Hong Hero, as usual, thank you for the 5 Squid Program memberships. I promise I will be doing more members content. Probably Thursday will be a members only stream because I have a lot of research to do and I need y'all's help. Y'all can go down some rabbit holes with me on some research and give me your ideas. And we'll just have a little hangout sesh. Because y'all are awesome at helping me figure things out when I get stuck. And I have a lot of research to do on a couple of things. So, Spawn Trooper and Fleece's filing is nuttier than a fruitcake. YouTube hates anyone that is awesome. Well, thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. I had to pick on you because you picked on me today. And you also told me to calm down. And I even told Mr. Squid because he told the little to calm down. And I looked at him and I laughed. And I was like, hon, when has telling a woman to calm down ever worked? I know she's 2, but she's still a woman. How could I play an attorney as well as I did at pro se? All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at that fan just putting out spin, spin, spin. That fans, I swear, in court cases, the fans and the clocks get more screen time than any witness. So, all right. I will, we will go back to this now that I saved it. And we will, I like living in the danger zone. At least you're not butthurt asking for the UN to get involved. See, and that's the thing. When you're like the brother I don't have, because or the uncle that just kind of gets under your skin, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like, yeah, that's just your personality, and we go like that's just your, you know, that's just how we, you know, and then we go right back to, you know. I mean, the sign of good friends is being able to annoy the crap out of each other and knowing exactly what annoys the crap out of each other, knowing that you're doing it on purpose, and being fine like 10 minutes later. And when what spins more in that courtroom, the fan, the judge, or the prosecutor? Oh, speaking of that, I was going to do this on another stream, but I'll do this now. Because I'm kind of, you know, I can only talk so much about this topic before I lose my absolute loving freaking mind. I was going to give my opinion on Karen Reed case, and we'll do it another time in a separate stream, but I have to show you all this since we're kind of on jury watch and a verdict watch. I make myself, I have, you know, Apple has this notepad. Can you picture having diplomats showing up on your doorstep? Yeah, nobody likes me. They wouldn't be able to find my house anyway. You can't get here on GPS. The Walmart people can't even find my house. So, you know, I'm going to do this on a small update case or a small update show where like I give little updates on cases where you really don't care, but you kind of care, or things you didn't think you cared about, but I'm going to make you care. So I just have to read this because y'all see if you're going to laugh, because this kind of relates to Bubbles. And I kind of read some of y'all a little quote from this. By the way, that hairdryer is not a hairdryer. Yeah, when Spawn sent me or told me to calm down and take a breath, I literally sent him a picture of like, it was literally drying my hair. Literally drying my hair. So we're going to read this, and then I'm going to forward y'all to Verdict Watch with Mo, Val, and everyone's favorite baker. Karen Reed retrial and death Boston cop John O'Keefe is near an end, and more than a month worth of pivotal testimony. Experts say key moments decided the case in their minds. Now her fate is in the hands of the jurors. For David Gelman, a Philadelphia area defense attorney and former prosecutor, the moment was when Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan played a police dash cam video of the crime scene, showing Reed's frantic reaction to finding her boyfriend unresponsive in the snow. Showing the video of O'Keefe's body, the jury saw how Reed reacted, and it really puts them at the alleged scene, he told Fox News Digital. Seeing her reaction in the courtroom is a big moment. The jury, I guarantee, wanted to see her reaction. Jack Lew, a retired Massachusetts judge and Boston College law professor, said the key moments were peppered throughout the trial whenever Brennan played clips from Reed's many televised interviews. She never should have done those. Putting her words in front of the jury without her talking, taking the stand in her own defense, she boxed herself in. Brennan reused some of those clips in his closing argument Friday to dramatic effect, he added. That was not what I would call that, but this is where we all have to take a moment and be like, Massachusetts, really? So the guy speaking as a retired Massachusetts judge and Boston College law professor. Remember that. I cannot identify a better trial lawyer I have personally observed in 40 plus years at the Massachusetts bar, he said of the special prosecutor. Excuse me, but if Brennan, Lally, and Bubbles are the best y'all fucking got in Massachusetts, y'all really got some work to do. Y'all really got some work to do. I didn't. Boston College might want to take a look at who they hire as professors, because if he thought Hank Brennan did a good job, we were not watching the same trial. I don't know about y'all, but this leaves me speechless, because I'm like, maybe if that retired judge and a law professor thinks that Hank Brennan did an amazing job, maybe Bubbles is considered a good lawyer where he's from. Maybe Bubbles is not as bad of a lawyer as we think down in the South. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. All right, guys. I am going to get going. I just wanted to leave you with that little tidbit and think about how Bubbles' attitude was, and then other Boston area lawyers, and how other Boston area lawyers are seen as skilled. Maybe in Boston, in the Boston area, I don't know where Malden, Massachusetts is in comparison to Boston. I don't care particularly. Massachusetts is not that big. Yeah. Anyway, maybe in Massachusetts, Bubbles is seen as a very good lawyer because that is what they are comparing. That is their bar. Yeah, I did. I did. Somebody mentioned it in my chat yesterday. I'm floored. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. I might go live in the morning. No, I might go live at like 11-ish. I'm doing a walk tomorrow with another one of my friends. And then might go live to talk about some other stuff. But 3 o'clock, Spawn and I are doing following the money of where the money for the FAA has gone for the past 50 fucking years. But oh yeah, no, see, this is where, hey Joe, this is where I have to disagree with you. Jokes are funny. At this point, he's just sad and pathetic. But yeah, jokes are funny. He's not funny. He wants to be funny, but he's not. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I have you guys set up to go over to Mo. Give her my love. She is doing verdict watch, and they're covering the river trial from South Carolina. The little is losing her mind about something. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to take care of stuff and then go to work. Bye, guys. Love y'all.